When I was 17, I came home from my part-time job at the local grocery store to find our small house completely empty. Not a stick of furniture, not a single family photo on the wall, just the faint ghost marks on the carpet where our couch used to be. The only thing left was a single piece of notebook paper taped to the living room window. In my mother's neat, looping handwriting, it read, "We've moved on. You'll figure it out." No signature, no explanation, no forwarding address. My high school graduation was in 3 weeks. They had taken my savings from the coffee tan in my closet, the one I'd been filling for community college. They had taken my car, a beat-up old Honda they'd gifted me for my birthday but never put in my name. They had taken everything, including my little brother, who I knew would be crying and confused. I was left with nothing but the uniform I was wearing and a crushing emptiness that threatened to swallow me whole. For 12 years, I'd built a life from that emptiness. I slept on friends' couches until graduation, working double shifts to afford a shared apartment. I put myself through night school, studying by flashlight during my breaks as a security guard. There were days I ate nothing but packets of ketchup from the gas station and cried from both hunger and loneliness. But I refused to break. I channeled all the pain, the betrayal, the sheer fury into a relentless drive to succeed. I started a small online business selling handmade leather goods, stitching each piece with a determination born from being left with nothing. Slowly, painstakingly, it grew. By 30, I owned a successful boutique, had a beautiful apartment, and a quiet, peaceful life. I had truly figured it out, just like their note said I would. The scars were there, but they were mine, and I wore them with a hard-won pride. Then an email arrived. The subject line was simply, "Your mother." My blood ran cold. It was from my aunt, my mother's sister, whom I hadn't heard from in over a decade. "Your father is gone," she wrote. "Cancer. Your mother is struggling. She's lost. She keeps asking for you. She wants to see you, to explain." A part of me, the 17-year-old girl sobbing on the empty living room floor, screamed to delete it. But the woman I had become, the one who had stared down worse demons than a guilty conscience, felt a cold, sharp curiosity. What possible explanation could there be? I wrote back a single, cold sentence. "Tell her I'll meet her at the public library downtown, this Saturday, 1 hour." She looked smaller, frailer than I remembered, her once sharp eyes now clouded with a desperate need for forgiveness. She clutched a cheap coffee like a lifeline. "Lily," she began, her voice trembling, "you have to understand, it wasn't our choice. We had to leave." I just stared, my face a mask of stone. She told me a story I could never have imagined. My father, the quiet, unassuming man I'd known, had been the sole witness to a powerful local politician committing a hit and run. He was given a choice: disappear and become a ghost, or his entire family would be wiped from the record. The politician's people had orchestrated everything: the sudden move, the secrecy, the financial cutoff. They were watched for years, she claimed, living in a remote town under new names. "We did it to protect you and your brother," she sobbed. "Leaving you was the hardest thing I've ever done." For a moment, I almost believed her. I almost felt the ice around my heart crack. The story was insane, but it was the first time any of it had made a twisted kind of sense. I saw the raw pain on her face, and the 17-year-old inside me wanted to hug her, to forgive her, to have my mother back. But then I remembered the coffee can. I remembered them taking the $1,847 I had saved, every dollar earned bagging groceries and scrubbing floors. If they were so terrified, so controlled, Why steal from their own child? Why leave me truly destitute? I looked her dead in the eyes, my voice dangerously calm. That's a very compelling story, Mom. But you took my money. You left me with nothing. People running for their lives don't stop to rob their own daughter. The lie shattered in her eyes. The politician, I knew for a fact, had died of a heart attack 5 years after they left. They could have come back then. They never did. I stood up to leave, the final thread of our connection severed forever. You didn't come back because you found a new life you preferred, I said, not even bothering to whisper. You're not here for forgiveness. You're here because he's gone, and you're broke, and you're alone. You think I don't know about the foreclosure on your house? The reverse mortgage you squandered? The color drained from her face. I had done my homework. You were right about one thing all those years ago, I said, slinging my bag over my shoulder. A bag from my own boutique, worth more than she had left. I did figure it out. I figured out that family isn't blood. It's the people who don't leave you on an empty floor with a note. Don't contact me again. I walked out of the library into the sun. The ghost of that 17-year-old girl finally, peacefully laid to rest.